Hey everybody, Greek Geek here, back with another video. Today I've got a special treat for the Superman comic collectors out there. I'm going to give you an overview and comparison of the Phillip Kennedy Johnson Warworld Saga Compendium versus the Omnibus. Last time I did a video similar to this was the Green Lantern Compendium, Jeff Johns, versus the Omni. Was very well received, lots of comments on that one. So figured I would do the same treatment for PKJ, as they call him, Phillip Kennedy Johnson. So let's get into it. So the contents of the compendium I'll put here and the omnibus down here. The main difference is the Grant Morrison Superman and Authority miniseries is in the omnibus. It is not in this compendium. Same for Superman, Son of Kal-El, the John Kent books. I read John Kent when he was younger. Didn't really care for him as they aged him up. I think that happened during the Bendis time. And Morrison is kind of hit or miss for me. So I just wanted the meat of the story. That's what I went with here. This was like 30 some bucks. I'm spending my money on the Triangle volume omnibuses, hoping and praying for a John Byrne Man of Steel omnibus. But I just wanted a modern Superman story since I'm not really reading many modern comics. So I had read good reviews and figured this was the cheapest way, best way for me to get to the meat of the story. So what happens in this? Superman finds out that there's a group of people called the Philosians that may or may not be tied to Kryptonian ancestry. So he finds out that they're being enslaved by Mongol on Warworld. He gets his team and off to Warworld we go. And that's when all hell breaks loose. Superman ends up with his team. They're put behind bars in chains. They're enslaved like the people on Warworld. And we really get to see Superman on this red-powered planet. He's depowered. He can't just fly out, do his normal thing.
So I just want to show a minute or two of the pages that are in here. Really great art here, multiple artists. I love how we get the covers in here. There's so many awesome variant covers. But we've got Aquaman, the Justice League, Batman's in here. This is Tao La. I won't give any spoilers, but she's the early indication to Superman that there's some fellow Kryptonians around. Lois and John play a key role in the first few issues of this. But yeah, look at these colors. We got the old blue Superman. Remember that from the mid to late 90s. Tons of action. And then, of course, it's going to get darker as we get to Warworld. We got Batman, like I said, the Authority's in here. And there's Mongol, classic Mongol. We all remember him from the Death of Superman storyline. You'll find out this may or may not be a different Mongol, but that is a badass picture there. Superman in chains. Not something we're used to seeing, So this is a complete departure from the invincible Superman that we're used to, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But you see that, just gritty battle. Basically, this book reminds me, it's like a combination of Mad Max and Gladiator. Look at that. How sweet is that cover? So yeah, awesome art. Look at that.
The great thing about this book is that if you're like me and you've been reading Superman for over 30 years, he's almost never in danger. He's always the strongest person in any battle. There's no doubt that he's going to win. But as you're reading this, you really don't know if he's going to make it to the next issue. Without his powers, it's fun to see a completely different side of Superman where he relies on the inner strength, the morals, and projecting the hope on everybody around him. So it's a very uplifting book, inspirational book, and a real departure from a lot of the dark, gritty books that are out there. And I think you'll love it. If you're a longtime Superman fan, it is a great modern story, one of the better modern stories out there. So what are the downsides? There are people that love PKJ, Phillip Kennedy Johnson. They've already announced a volume 2. So there are people that want to have volume 1 and volume 2 side by side. I don't know much about him. I hadn't read anything. So I'm not one of those people that needs to have volume 1 and volume 2. There are people who like covers. I do like covers, and unfortunately, the cover for the omnibus is on the spine here. So I was dollar diving from the local shop, and I was able to find this Superman Warworld Apocalypse for $1. So that's the cover of the omnibus that I got for $1, plus the 32, 35 bucks, whatever I spent on this. So yeah, for me, there's no real downside. I got the story that I wanted, hadn't read it, really love it. We'll probably go back and reread this, but you cannot go wrong either way. If you love Phillip Kennedy Johnson, grab the omnibus. As always, with all of my comic videos, I'm not sponsored, by the way. I will put a referral code for Panel Bound Comics. You'll get $2 off. If you want to click the link in the description and buy through Amazon, that supports me. But what do I rate this compendium here on my Greek Geek Geektastic Euro scale, gyros for the non-Greeks? I give it a 4 out of 5 euros. So drop a comment, guys. Let me know. Have you read this story? How did you read it? Single issues, compendium like me, the omnibus, and are you looking forward to volume 2 of the PKJ? As always, I appreciate you for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.